If you're thinking of starting a WordPress blog in 2019, but you're not really sure where to start, then this quick tutorial is going to be exactly what you're looking for. I'm going to cover this simple process, step by step, and in a way that anyone should be able to understand. By the end, you'll have your very own professional blog up and running online, which is going to be built using the same platform used by people like Jay-Z, Katy Perry, Forbes, and CNN, just to name a few. So if you're ready to get started, my name's Marty from letsbuildwp.com, and this is how to start a WordPress blog step by step in about 30 minutes or less. Okay, so when it comes down to it, there really are only 4 main steps we need to follow in order to start a WordPress blog in 2019. First, we need to register a domain name and web hosting. A domain name is just the title of our blog or business with www before it and .com after it. And it's what people are going to type into their internet browser to visit our blog. Then web hosting is where the different files that make up our blog will be stored online so people can gain access to it even when our own computer's switched off. Then once we have our domain name and web hosting registered, we can move on to the next step, which is installing WordPress. WordPress.org is 100% free for us to use, and it's only going to take us a few seconds to install it. Then after we install WordPress, we're going to be choosing and customizing a WordPress theme, which is going to change the look of our blog and help to make it more unique. Then the fourth and final step is to actually start blogging. And this basically just means creating and publishing our different blog posts for people to read. Now, I'll also cover a few other bits and pieces as well as we go along, but these are the 4 main steps we need to follow in order to start a WordPress blog. And don't worry if this sounds a little confusing, by the way. I'm going to show you exactly what to do every step of the way. So as we can see, the first thing we need to do is register a domain name and web hosting for our new blog. Now, there are tons of different places we can get these from, but personally I'd recommend using a company called HostGator, which is the hosting company I've been using for over 7 years now without any issues. And they were even nice enough to give me my own coupon code to share with you guys that'll get you your first month web hosting with them for only 1 penny. So to get started, we simply need to open up our internet browser and go to hostgator.com. Then once we get here, we can click web hosting at the top, and this is going to show us the 3 different hosting plans they offer. Now, to be totally honest, the business plan comes with a whole load of added extras we probably won't need when just getting started, which really just leaves it between the hatchling plan and the baby plan. The only real difference between these 2 plans is the amount of blogs we can have on each one. So if you're wanting to start more than 1 blog, you can go for the baby plan, or if you're only going to be building 1 like I am, we can go for the hatchling plan. Then once we've decided on which plan we're going to go for, we just need to click the Buy Now button underneath. That's going to bring us to this page, and this is where we're going to register the domain name for our new blog. So we just need to type whatever we're wanting to use as our domain name into this box. And then we can use the drop down on the right hand side to choose our domain extension. So in this example, I'm registering the domain name wpsmartway.com. Then once we've chosen our domain extension, we're hopefully going to get the message added primary, which means the domain name's available for us to register. But if it comes up and says that it's not available, unfortunately we'll need to choose something else. Then once we know our domain's available, we can scroll down to where it says Domain Privacy Protection. Now this is 100% optional, and I normally just uncheck this box myself and haven't had any problems to date, but if you want to keep it checked, you can. Then underneath, we're going to double check that our package type is correct and choose a billing cycle. So I chose the hatchling plan, so this is correct. And then as I'm just doing this for the tutorial, I'm going to set my billing to monthly. But as you can see, we do save quite a bit of money the longer we buy at one time, so that might be something to think about. Like if this wasn't just an example and I was starting a real blog, I would at least set it to yearly to benefit from the discount. Then underneath, we just need to set up a username and security pin for use with our HostGator account. And then under this, we can enter our billing information, so things like our name and email address. Then on the right we can choose whether we'd like to pay by credit or debit card or PayPal. Then once we fill out our information, if we scroll down, we'll see this section called Add Additional Services, and these are just a few paid add-ons that HostGator offer. Now as we can see, we do get an SSL certificate for free, which is awesome, as normally this would cost more than the price of our hosting and domain. Then personally I'm just going to uncheck the rest of these add-ons as they really aren't necessary, but obviously you can make up your own mind if you want to keep them checked. Then once we're done here, underneath we'll see this section where we can enter a discount code, and there might be a coupon already entered in here worth 20 or 25% off your order, but we can just delete this coupon and instead enter blogging host 1. So that's the word blogging, the word host, and then the number 1. Then when we click validate, we'll see our first month hosting is now only 1 penny. Then we also get access to their 24/7 phone, live chat and email support for free, which is awesome if we run into any problems or if we want to ask for their help with something. Now I do just want to mention that as well as you getting an amazing price on your hosting, I'll also be paid a small commission if you use this coupon. I then plan to use any money made to support my YouTube channel so I can continue to make tutorials like this one available for free. So not only will you get a discount, but you'll also help to fund my free tutorials, and for this I say thank you. Then once we're happy with everything here, we just need to scroll down, agree to the terms of service, and then click the Checkout Now button to pay for our order. When we do this, it's either going to bring us to a credit card payment screen or PayPal, depending on what we choose as our payment method. So I'm just going to quickly pause this video for a second while I fill out my personal billing information above, and then I'll restart it again once I've paid for my order. Okay, so that's me now back, and when I finished paying for my order I was brought to a thank you page and then redirected to the home page. So if you're following along at home, at this point we can just open up our email inbox where we should find a few new emails from HostGator. These are pretty important emails, so be sure to keep them safe, but for now we just want to click into the one that says Your Account Info, which contains a link to our control panel, our username and password for logging in, and a few other important pieces of information about our account. Then if we click the link to our control panel, this is going to open up our cpanel login screen in a new tab. Now we can just copy and paste our username and password from this email into the cpanel login screen. Then once we've done that, we can click Login, and this is us going to be logging into the HostGator cpanel for the first time. Now this might seem a little overwhelming at first, but it's actually pretty easy. We just need to scroll down to where it says Software, and then click Quick Install. Then we're going to click One-Click Installs on the left, and select WordPress in the middle. That's going to bring us to this page, and here we just need to select our new domain name from this drop-down list, and then click Next. Then on this page we're going to enter some basic information for our new WordPress blog. So for blog title, this is going to be the name of our WordPress blog, and for me, I'm just going to type Marty's blog. Although don't worry too much about this for now, as we can always change it again later. Then admin user is going to be the username for logging into our site, and it's also going to be visible on a few different pages as well. Then we just need to enter our first name, our last name, and our email address. Then underneath we can check this box to agree to the terms of service and click Install. And once it's finished, we'll be given a link to our site, our username, and a randomly generated password for logging in. So at this point we just want to right click the login button and click Open Link in New tab. This is then going to open up our WordPress login screen in a new tab. Although don't be alarmed if you're just shown a blank white screen or some kind of advert, as sometimes it can take a few minutes for everything to be ready. So if this happens to you, just take a quick break and then try again soon. But once we see the login screen, we just want to copy and paste our username and password from this screen into the login screen. Then when we click login, this is us going to be logging into what's known as the WordPress dashboard, which is where we can add any content or make any changes to our new blog, which by the way is now live online. All we need to do to visit our site is click our blog title in the top left, and that's going to show us what WordPress looks like when we first install it. Now yours might look a little different, as sometimes they change the default theme, but either way we're just going to see some demo content and not much else. We have a demo blog post called Hello World, and when we click into it, we'll see that it just has some text and a demo comment at the bottom to show us what it's going to look like when using this theme. Now this is already looking amazing, but we're actually going to be changing our theme and making our blog much more custom and more like the blog we actually want. So to change our WordPress theme, we're going to go back to the dashboard by clicking our blog title in the top left. Then if we click Appearance on the left, this is going to show us the different themes that WordPress comes with pre-installed. So as we can see, I currently have the 2019 theme active in this example, as it says active underneath it. Then we can change to one of these other themes we have installed if we like, by hovering over the theme and clicking Activate. But rather than doing that, we're going to find and install a new theme by clicking Add New at the top. This is then going to show us the thousands of different free themes that WordPress have to offer, and we can filter through these themes at the top by Featured, Popular, and Latest. If we already know the name of a particular theme we're wanting to install, we can also type it into the search bar in the top right. Now, some WordPress themes can have more options than others and can be a little more confusing than necessary, and especially when just getting started. So sometimes it can take a while to find the perfect theme to use. But rather than going through this now, and to save some time in the tutorial, I've gone ahead and chosen a great theme for us to use together, so we can both see exactly the same things as we go along, and the theme is called Newsly Magazine. Although don't worry if you really don't like the one I've chosen, as the awesome thing about WordPress is that we can change the theme at any point without deleting any of our content. So if we use this theme to learn the basics, you can always change it again later if you like. But for now we're just going to type the words Newsly Magazine into the search bar in the top right. And then when the theme shows up, we're just going to hover our mouse over it and click Install. WordPress will then install the theme for us automatically in a matter of seconds, and once it's done we can click Activate. And now when we visit our blog by clicking our site title in the top left, we'll see that the new theme is now active and our blog is already looking much better. Then once we have our theme installed, we can start to customize it. And to do this, we just want to make sure that we're viewing our site, and then we can click where it says Customize at the top. This is then going to open up our themes options on the left, and we'll see a live preview of our blog on the right. Now, depending on the theme you're using, you might have a few different options here on the left, as all WordPress themes are created for different purposes. But no matter what theme you're using, you should see an option on the left called Site Identity, and this is the one we're looking for now. So if we click into Site Identity on the left, this is where we can change our site title and tagline, or add a logo if we have one. So as we can see in the preview on the right, my blog is currently called Marty's Blog. But if we want to change this, we just need to change the text that's in the box labelled Site Title on the left. So for example, if I change this to say Marty Dread, we'll see that it updates in real time in the live preview on the right. Then once we're happy with our site title, we'll see there's a line of text underneath it that reads Just Another WordPress Site. This is what's known as our site's tagline, and we can change it using the box labelled tagline on the left. So if I just quickly type something in here, we'll see that it updates right away in the live preview on the right. Now, this next step is optional, but if we have a logo image we'd like to use instead of our site title and tagline, we just need to click Select Logo in the top left, and then click Select Files in the middle. Now we're going to search for the logo image on our computer, and when we find it, we can click on it and click Open. It's only going to take a few seconds to upload the image, and once it's done, we can click Select in the bottom right, and then either crop our image or click Skip Cropping. When we do this, we'll see that our logo now appears in the preview on the right instead of our site title and tagline. Although if you do notice that it's still showing the site title and tagline as well, we just need to uncheck this box on the left to hide them. Then once we're finished here, we can click Publish at the top to save our changes, and then click the back pointing arrow in the top left to go back to the list of options. Now, as I said before, all themes are created different, so you might not have these exact options if you're using a different theme. But if you've gone for the Newsly theme like I have, we can easily change our site's main colors by clicking into General Layout on the left. So if I just quickly click into General Layout, we can change our site's primary color by clicking Select Color, and then choosing the color we'd like to use. Now we should see this change the main site color on the right, which is the color used for buttons, links and things like that, but if it doesn't update right away, we just need to click Publish at the top, and then refresh the page to see the new color. Then once we're happy with it, we can do the same thing for our site's background color as well if we like. So if I just change this to black for example, we'll see that it changes the entire background black. And if we don't like the new color we've chosen, we can click the default button to bring it back. Then once we've updated our site colors, we can click Save at the top to publish our changes, and then click the X in the top left to close out of the theme options. When we do this, we'll see that our changes have been saved and our logo and new site colors are now live. Then, before we move on to creating our actual blog posts, we're just going to delete the demo content that WordPress comes with by default. Then we're also going to install a free plugin that's going to help make blogging much easier. So to delete the demo content, we're just going to head back over to our dashboard by clicking our site title in the top left. Then if we click Posts on the left, this is going to show us any posts we have on our blog, which for now is just going to be this demo post called Hello World. To delete this post, we can hover our mouse over it and click Trash. And now if we visit our blog, we'll see it's completely empty and almost ready for us to start creating our own posts. But just quickly before that, we're going to install a free plugin that's going to make blogging much easier. So to do this, we need to go back to the dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then we can click Plugins on the left, and this is going to show us any plugins we have installed on our site. And just to quickly explain what they are, plugins are basically like extensions or add-ons for WordPress that let us add extra functionality to our blog that WordPress doesn't come with by default. So things like social share buttons and contact forms. Now there will more than likely be a few demo plugins already installed, but we don't really need any of them and they're just wasting space. So to remove the plugins that are already installed, we just need to check the box at the top to select all of the plugins in the list, then click where it says Bulk Actions and change this to Deactivate. Now if we click Apply, WordPress is going to go through and deactivate all of the active plugins. Then once they've been deactivated, we're just going to check the same box again to select all of the plugins, click where it says Bulk Actions, and then instead of Deactivate, we're going to choose Delete. Then if we click Apply, this time it's going to ask us if we're sure, and when we click OK, WordPress is going to remove all of the plugins from our site. Then once we've deleted all of the pre-installed plugins, we can click Add New at the top to install a new one. So here we can search through the thousands of different free plugins that WordPress have to offer, or if we know the name of the plugin we're wanting to install, we can type it into the search bar in the top right. So for this example, we're going to type the words Classic Editor into the search bar. And when the plugin shows up, we just need to click Install, and WordPress is going to install it for us automatically in a matter of seconds. Then once it's been installed, we can click Activate. And now we're ready to start adding some posts to our blog. So to add a blog post, we simply need to hover over where it says Posts in our left dashboard menu, and then click Add New. This is then going to open up the main editor in WordPress, which is where we can create our different posts. Now, this might look a little confusing at first, but it really doesn't take long getting used to it at all. So the first thing we're going to do when creating a new blog post is give it a title, and for me this is going to be How to Start a Blog with WordPress. Then if we click into the larger box underneath, this is where we can add any content to our post. So we can just start typing whatever we want into this box, or if we've already got something typed up like I do, we can just copy and paste it in. Then once we've added any text to our post, if we look at the top here, we'll see a bunch of different options similar to something like Microsoft Word. If we only have one row of options, we can click this icon on the far right to open up the second row. Then using these different settings, we can make our text bold and italics. We can also add bullet points, and a bunch of other things we'd normally find in any good text editor. If we have any subheadings in our text, like I do here, we just need to highlight them, and then we can use this drop-down menu to change the size of our heading text. So I'm just going to quickly go through and change my different subheadings to be larger. Then once we've added any subheadings, we can move on to adding images. And to add an image on WordPress, we first just need to figure out where we're wanting it to go in our post. So say for this example we wanted our image to appear underneath this line of text. We just need to click our mouse after the text and then hit return on our keyboard to take a new line. Then if we click into the new line we just created and click Add Media at the top, we can click Upload Files at the top, select Files in the middle, and then search for the image on our computer. When we find the image we're wanting to use, we can click on it and click Open to upload it. Then once our image has been uploaded, on the right hand side we can change the alignment of our image, and we can also change the size as well. So I'm going to make my image full size and centered in this example. Then once we've changed these options, we can click Insert into Post in the bottom right. And when we do that, we're going to see a live preview of our image appears in the editor. Now, if at any point during editing we want to see what our post is looking like so far, we can click the preview button in the top right, and that's going to open up a live preview of our post in a new tab. Then once we're happy with how our post is looking, or we know what we need to change, we can just close out of the preview to go back to the editor. Then once we've added any images to our post, if we look on the right hand side we'll see that it says categories and tags, and these are what we can use to help organize our different posts. Now, categories and tags can be a little confusing to understand at first and might take a little too long to explain fully in this quick tutorial. So I'm just going to leave a link in the description below for you to check out that explains the correct way to categorize and tag our different blog posts. Then once we know which categories and tags we're wanting to use, this is how to add them. So to add our post to a new category, we simply need to click Add New Category, type what we're wanting to use into this box, and then click the Add Category button. So for this example, as my blog post is about starting a blog with WordPress, I'm going to create a new category called WordPress Tutorials. Then underneath we can type any tags we want into this box, and we just need to click the Add button underneath to add them. So for this post I'm going to add the tags Start a Blog, WordPress, and Web Design. Then once we've added our categories and tags, we'll see underneath it says add a featured image, and this is the image that's going to appear in our list of posts on the home page. Now the featured image is optional, but I definitely would recommend adding one. So we just need to click set featured image, then choose upload files at the top, select files in the middle, and then we can search for the image on our computer. When we find the image we're looking for, we just need to click on it and click open to upload it. Then once our image has been uploaded, we can click set featured image in the bottom right, and we'll see that our image now shows up in the editor. And to be honest, that's basically everything there is to adding blog posts on WordPress. Once we're done adding our content and we're happy with our post, we just need to click publish on the right hand side for our post to go live. Then once it's been published, we can click view post at the top to see our new blog post. So at the top we have our post title, our publish date, and the category we assigned the post to. Then underneath we have our different text, subheadings, images, and anything else we decided to add to our post. Now there's also this about the author section, which we'll cover how to change in a minute. Then finally at the bottom we have a comment section where our readers can leave a reply to our post or ask follow-up questions. And now if we scroll back up to the top and visit our home page by clicking our logo or site title, we'll see that our new blog post appears here, along with our featured image and a preview of the text, which is known as the post's excerpt. And now that we know how it's done, we can just repeat the process as many times as we like for any new blog posts we want. Then finally, the last thing we need to do is update the text on our About the Author section that appears on our posts. So to do this, we need to visit our dashboard by clicking our site title at the top. Then we can hover over where it says Users on the left and click Your Profile. Then on this page, if we scroll down, we'll see a section labelled Biographical Info, and this is the about text that'll appear on our posts. So I'm just going to quickly paste in some text I've already got copied, and then scroll down to the bottom and click Update Profile to save my changes. And now if we visit one of our blog posts and scroll down, we'll see that our About the Author section has been updated. And now that we know the basics of WordPress, we can start to experiment with new themes if we like, or we can keep it the way we have it now and concentrate on writing some awesome new blog posts. So congratulations, you've just successfully created your very own self-hosted WordPress blog. And not only that, but you also know how to change and customize WordPress themes, as well as how to add more blog posts and content. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a like here to show some support, and subscribe to the channel for more WordPress tutorials in future. Once again, my name's Marty from letsbuildwp.com, and thank you very much for watching my video.